just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 on Channels Television live from Lagos. A reminder of our top stories. Christians in Nigeria join their counterparts all over the world to celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ. President Jonathan calls for more prayers for Nigeria, asks citizens to resist attempt by politicians to drag the country into crisis. Federal government asks Nigerians living illegally in Saudi Arabia to return home as 80 are repatriated. And Egypt declares the Muslim Brotherhood a terrorist group after blaming it for the deadly attack on the police headquarters yesterday. Now all our top stories can be found on our website, channelstv.com, and on youtube.com/channelsweb. To get us on the move, visit m.channelstv.com to view us live on your mobile device. You can also download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS, and Windows phones from their respective stores. Well, you can now interact with the Channels Eyewitness feature on our Android and Windows 8 platforms. If you have a picture, or better still, a Christmas picture or video to share with us, tap on the application on your device, swipe to reveal the Eyewitness menu, and follow the instructions to share your report, pictures, and videos. Let's now join Linda in our Abuja studios for more on the news at 10. Merry Christmas, Linda. I hope you have a merry one over there.
Thank you and welcome to Abuja. Nigeria's President Dr. Goodluck Jonathan joined the host of Christian faithful to worship in one of the Anglican churches in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. In his goodwill message after the session, Dr. Jonathan called on the Nigerian clergy not to allow politicians to plunge the country into chaos as they want to do. The president said that the country does not belong to politicians alone and called on the men of God to continue to pray for the reign of terror to stop. The president cited examples of events in countries like South Sudan and Pakistan and pledged that his administration would continue to do its best to ensure that the country does not degenerate into crisis, especially now that bitter criticisms of his administration and what he called unwarranted letters appear to be the order of the day. Our State House correspondent Chukwuma Onwekusi was at the church and now reports.
At this time every year, the Church of the Advent in the Federal Capital Territory plays host to the President and members of the First Family. This day, they join the procession for Christmas Day service as early as 9 o'clock in the morning. Apart from those popular carols that rent the air at a time like this, there were also praise songs for Thanksgiving. The First Lady read the first lesson from the book of Isaiah, chapter 9, verses 2 and 7, while the President read the second lesson from the book of Hebrews.
For to us a child is born, to us a son is given.
Primate of the Anglican Church chose to speak on joy and peace that Christ brought as they affect Nigerians.
Do not join anybody to cause trouble, because you may be a recipient of the evil of the trouble. Do not join anybody to cause confusion, because we have nowhere to go. Some of you don't have international passport, do you? Oh yes, there are some of you don't have international passport. And the people who are telling you to do this, do that, not only that they have international passport, they have bank account, they have houses abroad, they can go and stay there. And at the end of the whole matter, they come back.
Then President Jonathan's Christmas message. He calls on the church to continue to pray for Nigeria promising to do his best, especially in the midst of challenges and unwarranted criticisms.
For us at this time, especially when we, the politicians who think that we own this country, begin to think about our next election and doing what we ought not to do, making statements we're supposed not to make, writing letters we're supposed not to write. We use this Christmas period to call on our clergymen, our statesmen, who really own this country, because this country belongs to our statesmen, our traditional rulers, our religious leaders, our men, our women, our youth. Nigeria does not belong to any politician or group of politicians.
The prayers are that the blessings of Christmas come into every home, giving Nigerians the ability to overcome the challenges, even in the new year just ahead. Chukuma Onebusi, Channels Television News.
The celebration of Christmas in Lagos was not limited to church service, as families say this festive season has given them the much-needed time to stay close to one another. From the average home to the low-income community, Christmas is celebrated in different styles. Our correspondent, Ine Thompson, visited some families and now reports.
Hello, sir. You're welcome. Merry Christmas. Nice to see you. Please just come in. Come in. Thank you.
The family of Mr. Aki Fatunke gladly opened their door to visitors to share the celebration of the season.
You're welcome. Thank you.
It's a time to eat and drink, but not without thinking of those who were not so privileged.
We must remember that at all times, there are people who are less privileged than we are. There are people who are much more privileged than we are, because we always tend to talk about people who are under. There are people who are over who also need help, because they need, besides themselves and their wealth, to be taught those virtues of humility, of service to mankind.
Speaking from the woman's perspective, Mrs. Fatunke says the biggest source of joy is having a husband home with the family.
Christmas time is a very busy time for women, especially mothers. So, and it's a pleasant feeling, like, because you have your children around, family members, loved ones, and you're so happy doing it. You don't feel stressed, because you're so happy. It's fun having them all around.
The Fatunkes believe that every guest should leave with a gift.
Symbols of Christmas everywhere. Oh yes. Everybody. Baba. You like this talking?
In another setting in Ajegule, the celebration is shared in a wider circle, from the streets into the compound, where neighbors share whatever they have.
I'm very happy for this Christmas, and I wish my life to more than this. And I don't know how I can say it, but I only need more progress for me and for my neighbor, for my children, for other people, but you. I'm very happy.
And so it seems that whatever part of town one visits, the festivity is in the air, and whatever form the celebration takes, it is a period when people spend time with their family, friends, and neighbors. I'm Ine Thompson reporting for Channels Television News.
It is estimated that the internally generated revenue of Cross River State runs into billions in the month of December. This owes to the many festivities evolving around the annual Calabar Carnival. Besides the cash to the state's economy, it offers employment opportunities to thousands of youth across Nigeria who are engaged in the building and decoration of the carnival floats, down to sewing of costumes used by band members as well as tourists. A community report tonight looks at the business aspect of the carnival, adjudged the biggest street party in Africa.
Etisalat, now you're talking. No doubt, the Calabar Carnival has come to stay in Cross River State, South Nigeria. The carnival draws spectators from all around the world to the state, which of course is responsible for this long line of traffic, a situation witnessed only at this period or during other big occasions.
Of course, it's Christmas, so that's one reason for the traffic. But another reason is the fact that so many people are here in town for Carnival Calabar and for other festival events. So as you know, from 30th of November, we've got a lot of different events in Calabar Festival. But by the time you get to Christmas, it starts to build up. The bigger events are coming. And then, of course, the biggest event of them all, biggest in Africa, in fact, is Carnival Calabar.
Behind the pomp and pageantry attached to the annual carnival, youths, mostly from the state, get their hands on some work to do, which translates into pay in their pockets.
Yeah, all the materials are coming.
Carnival Calabar is an industry that have created so many opportunities for the youth. Here you are not just seeing artists, you are seeing youth from different walks of life, different professions coming to not just work but make money for themselves. Among us you'll find medical students. You know, schools were on strike, and those who were wise enough came in and used the opportunity to make some money.
For Carnival Calabar, people are making costumes. You know, about 50,000 costumes have to be made, and it takes months to do all of that. And people are working on all kinds of things. You know, this is the time of year when all of our young entertainers get paid. They get on stage, they do shows, and we have a talent series that runs for many, many nights. So you can imagine the opportunity for young people. It's quite fantastic.
These costumes and other materials are locally sourced and produced in the state, a boost for the state's internally generated revenue.
Because most of the things we use, costumes are made locally. Not only even in this state, in Nigeria, because we don't have enough tailors here, so we bring tailors in from Lagos, outside Calabar. We have sculptors, we have artists, we use all kinds of, trade professions, so we bring them in. And as you know, even the smallest hotels are sold out in Calabar now. So there's a tremendous increase in economic activities, at this time in Calabar. And even private homes have been turned into hotels. So it means that the common man is also benefiting from the economic activity. So it's one period that Cross River State can be economically buoyant.
Plans are, however, underway for the state government to hand over the carnival to the private sector for sustainability.
And that's all from Abuja. Back to you, Sulai.
Well, many thanks, Linda. Still ahead on the news at 10. Kaduna State chapter of the PDP says the defection of prominent members of the party to the APC is of no effect. Now to join us again.